Students, today we will revise about the physiography of India. So as we have studied, there are 5 major physiographic divisions of India: the Himalayas, the North Indian plains, the peninsula, the coastal plains, and the island group. So now we'll see about the Himalayas. We will revise about the Himalayas, one of the physiographic division of India. The Himalayas is one of the young fold mountain of the world. Himalayas is known as young fold mountain of the world. The Himalayas extend from Pamir North in Tajikistan to the east. It extends from the Pamir North in Tajikistan to the east. In the first picture, you can see in blue color arrow, it has shown how it has extended. It is a major mountain system of the Asian continent. One of the major mountain system, Himalayan mountains of the Asian continent. In India, it extends from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. It extends from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh in country India. The Himalayas is not a single mountain range. There are many parallel ranges in the system. There are various parallel ranges in the system of Himalayas. The southernmost is known as the Shivalik. It is also the youngest mountain. The southernmost is known as Shivalis, and it is also known as the youngest range mountain. Next to Shivalis are Lesser Himalayas, Greater Himalayas, and Trans Himalayas ranges from south to north. In the second picture, it is clearly shown. Next to Shivaliks are Lesser Himalayas, Greater Himalayas, and Trans Himalayan ranges from south to north. These ranges are young to old respectively. These mountain ranges are also divided into Western Himalayas. They are also called as Kashmir Himalayas, Central Himalayas. They are also called as Kumaon Himalayas, and Eastern Himalayas as Assam Himalayas. In the third picture, we can see the mountain ranges are also divided into Western Himalayas, Central Himalayas, and Eastern Himalayas. Now we will revise North Indian plains. The division lies between Himalaya mountain in the north and the peninsula in the south. Similarly, it extends from the Rajasthan and Punjab in the west to Assam in the east. It is mostly a flat low-lying area. The North Indian plains are divided into two parts. We can see in the picture, the North Indian plains are divided into main two parts, and that is known as Eastern Plains and Western Plains. In the second picture, we can clearly see that. The part lying to the east of Aravallis is the basin of the river Ganga and is therefore known as Ganga Plains. It slopes eastward. The part lying which is at the east side of the Aravallis of the river Ganga and is therefore known as Ganga Plain. It slopes eastward. Its direction goes towards eastward. Most of the West Bengal state of India and Bangladesh together constitute the delta of Ganga Brahmaputra system. It is known as Sundarbans. It is considered to be the world's largest delta. So, Sundarbans means the West Bengal state of India and Bangladesh together constitute a delta of Ganga and Brahmaputra river system. So, it is known as Sundarbans. The western part of the North Indian plains is occupied by desert. The western part we can see in the picture, it is occupied by desert. It is also known as the Thar Desert or Marusthali. In the western part of the North Indian plains, it occupied by desert known as Thar Desert or Marusthali. Most of the Rajasthan is occupied by this desert. To the north of the desert lie the plains of Punjab. The region is spread to the west of Aravallis and Delhi ranges. These plains have formed as a result of depositional work by river Satluj and its tributaries. The slope of the plains is toward the west. You can see that the slope of the plains is toward the west because the soil here is very fertile, and that soil fertile is benefited for agriculture. So agriculture is largely practiced in this area. Why? Because of the depositional work by river Satluj and its tributaries. Now here we can see the image of Sundarban Delta. The Sundarban is a mangrove area in the delta formed by the confluence of a Ganges, Brahmaputra and Meghna river in Bay of Bengal. It is formed by the confluence of the Ganges, Brahmaputra and Meghna river in Bay of Bengal. It spans from the Hooghly river in India state of West Bengal to the Baleshwar river in Bangladesh. So it is a clear picture of Sundarban Delta. Now we will revise of the peninsula. In the first picture, we can clearly see about the Indian peninsula, the area of the Indian peninsula. The area lying to the south of the North Plain and tapering toward the Indian Ocean is called an Indian peninsula. The area lying to the south of North Indian Plain. First picture, it clearly shows us that the area lying to the south of North Indian Plains and tapering towards the Indian Ocean is known as peninsula. Many plateaus and hilly region it consists. There are various plateaus and hilly regions in Indian peninsula. The Aravalli is in the north and the oldest cold mountain here. Aravalli is in the north direction, is the oldest cold mountain in peninsula. It includes a series of plateaus bordering the plains, Vindhyas and Satpura ranges in the central part and the hilly region of western and eastern Ghats. It all includes the plateaus, borders, plains, Vindhyas. At the bordering, it has plains, Vindhyas, Satpura ranges in the central part and the hilly region of western and eastern Ghats. In the second picture, we can see there are various plateaus, plains, ranges included in the peninsula. So the area lying to the south of the North Indian Plains and tapering towards the Indian Ocean is called Indian Peninsula. Now we will revise about the coastal plain. India is blessed with a long coastline extended for approximately 7,500 kilometers. The coastline of India is approximately 7,500 kilometers. It lies to the western and the eastern part of peninsula. It lies to the western and eastern of the peninsula. Its western and eastern coastline shows remarkable dissimilarities. There are various dissimilarities between the western and the eastern coastline of India. The western coast border the Arabian Sea, and it is by and large rocky coast. The western coast, the border is of Arabian Sea, and it largely have rocky coast. At place first taking off from the Western Ghats have extending right up to the coast. Its width is also less. Rivers originating from Western Ghats are short and swift, and hence they form estuaries and not deltas. The rivers which are flowing from the Western Ghats, the dissimilarity we can see, one of the Western Ghats are short and swift, and the rivers flowing from here, they form estuaries, but they do not form deltas. And about the eastern coast border of the Bay of Bengal. The eastern coast borders the Bay of Bengal. It has formed as a result of depositional work of river, and it has formed due to the depositional work by the river. Many east flowing rivers starting from the western and the eastern Ghat meet this coast. The rivers which are flowing starting its point from the western and the eastern Ghat, they meet at this coast, at the eastern coast. Because of the gentler slope of land, river flow at lower velocity and deposit the sediment brought with them at the coast. As a result, deltas are formed along this coast. In the eastern coast, deltas are formed. In the western coast, estuaries are formed. There are no deltas found. So because of gentle slope of land, river flow at lower velocity. The slope of land is gentle, so that is why the flow of the river is at lower velocity and deposit the sediments brought with them at the coast. So it is easy for a river to deposit the sediments brought with it at the coast, and these form the delta. The island group. Now we will revise about the island group. India has many small and large islands along the coast of mainland. India has many large and small islands along the coast of the mainland. These are included in the coastal island group. Beside India has two large group of islands, one each in the Arabian Sea and in Bay of Bengal. There are two large group of islands. In the map, you can also see that the Arabian Sea and in the Bay of Bengal. The island in the Arabian Sea are known as Lakshadweep. In the map, it is shown in blue color arrow. It is indicating Lakshadweep at the west side. Whereas the island in the Bay of Bengal are called the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The island in the map we can see in the Arabian Sea are known as Lakshadweep Island, and the island in the Bay of Bengal are known as Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Most of the islands in the Lakshadweep are atoll islands. In the Lakshadweep, most of the islands are atoll islands. They are small in extent and not very high. The island of the Lakshadweep are atolls island, and they are small in extent and not very high. In the island, Andaman group are mainly volcanic islands. The Andaman Island groups, we can see the islands are volcanic islands. They are large with hills in their interior part. Of includes an island called Barren Island, which has the only active volcano in India. In the blank in exam, the question may come. Barren active island. So it is in the Andaman group. Island in the Andaman group are mainly volcanic islands. They are large with hill in their interior part. Of include an island called Barren Island, which has the only active volcano in India. They are atolls in the Nicobar group. Now we will revise about the physiography of Brazil. Even a cursory look at the map will make you realize that a large part of Brazil is occupied by highlands, plateaus, and a small mountain. There are no very high and long extending mountain in the country, Brazil, except for the northern Amazon basin and in southwest along the upper part of Paraguay basin. There are no wide plains in the country. Even the coastal plains are restricted in their expanse. So this is about the physiography of Brazil. The large part Brazil occupied by highland plateaus, a small mountain. There are no very high, long extending mountain in Brazil. Also has 5 main physiographic divisions: the highlands, the great escarpment, the coastal region, the plains, and the island groups. The highlands, we will revise. The southern Brazil is occupied by an extensive plateau. It is differently described as Brazilian highland or Brazilian shield or Brazilian plateau. Brazilian and Guyana highlands together form the core of South America continent. In the map, first map we can see Brazilian highland, Brazilian plateau, Brazilian shield. They are differently described as Brazilian highland, or it is also called Brazilian shield or Brazilian plateau. Brazilian Guyana highlands together form the core of South America continent. The main part of Guyana highland is in Venezuela, and it extends up to French Guyana. In Brazil, it covers the state of Roraima, Para, and Amapá in the north. The lower part of this highland is found in Brazil, but the highest peak of Brazil, Pico da Neblina, we have revised about the highest peak of Brazil, is Pico da Neblina, and its height is 3014 meters and lies on the border between Brazil and Venezuela. The region to the east and the south of the Brazilian highland have an altitude of more than 1000 meters, but in other parts, the altitude is between 500 to 1000 meters. The highlands gradually slope towards north and slope are not very steep. The tributaries of Amazon flowing through this region make rapid and waterfall towards the north. The slope are step up abrupt. A number of rivers take off from the terminal portion of the highland and flow northward to meet Atlantic Ocean. Some major rivers like Uruguay, Paraguay, and Paraná originate from the southern slope of the highland and enter Argentina. In the second picture, it is clearly shown about the Argentina. It slopes towards the east, it steps, and it appears in the form of an escarpment. So major rivers Uruguay, Paraguay, and Paraná originate from the southern slope of the highland and enter Argentina. The Great Escarpment. We will revise about the Great Escarpment. Though it occupies a very small area, the nature of its slope and the effect it has on the climate make it a separate physiographic region. The eastern side of highland is demarcated because of the escarpment. In this region, the altitude of the escarpment is 790 meters. In the first picture, the arrow in the blue color, it shows the altitude of the escarpment is 790 meters. In some region, the height decreases gradually. The escarpment is very steep, particularly from Sao Paulo to Port Alegre. The escarpment acts as a barrier to the southeast trade winds, giving the rise to the rain shadow area in the northern part of the highland, and the region of the north of this area is called drought quarter. Second picture, drought quadrilateral image. So the altitude of the escarpment is 790 meters, and the escarpment acts as a barrier to the southwest trade wind, giving rise to the rain shadow area in the northern part of the highland. And the region to the north of this area is called as drought quadrilateral. Now we will revise about the coast. The coast of Brazil. Brazil has a coastline of about 7,400 kilometers. The coastline of Brazil, we have to learn, you have to keep in mind 7,400 kilometers. One may divide that into two parts, mainly northern and eastern coast. The northern coast extends from Amapá province in the north to Rio Grande do Norte in the east. This can be called as in North Atlantic coast. From there, the eastern coast extends towards the south. The northern coast is characterized by the mouth of many rivers, including the Amazon. Therefore, this region is a low-lying region. On this coast lie the Marajo Island, Marajo and Sao Marcos Bays. Marajo is a large coastal island located between the mouth of the river Amazon and river Tocantins. The second map, we can see the Amapa, the North Atlantic coast, and the Rio Grande do Norte. The northern coast extends from the Amapa province in the north to Rio Grande do Norte in the east. This is called as the North Atlantic coast. The northern coast is characterized by the mouth of the many rivers, including the Amazon. Therefore, this region is a low-lying region. On this coast lie the Marajo Island, Marajo and the Sao Marcos Bays. Marajo is the large coastal island between the mouth of the river Amazon and the Tocantins. Now we will revise about the coast. As we know, there are various beaches and sand dunes in Brazil. The eastern coast receives large number of smaller rivers. The only major river which meets the Atlantic Ocean here is the São Francisco. The river which meets at the Atlantic Ocean is the São Francisco River. The Brazilian coast is characterized by a large number of beaches and the sand dune complexes. The Brazilian coast is protected in some areas by coral reef and atoll island. The beaches are protected by coral reef and atoll island in Brazil. There are many large number of smaller rivers. The only major river which meets the Atlantic Ocean is São Francisco in Brazil. Praia do Cassino or Cassino Beach is the southernmost beach of the Brazilian coast on the South Atlantic Ocean. It is also known as Cassino Beach. It is considered to be the longest sandy beach in the world. In the world, it is considered as the longest sandy beach. Praia do Cassino, or it is also called as Cassino Beach. It is continuous beach extending for more than 200 kilometers. It is a beach which extends in the of more than 200. Now we will see of the plains. The plains in Brazil are confined to two areas, namely the Amazon basin in the north and the Paraguay-Parana source region in the south. Amazon plains lies between the two highlands from the largest plain, land of Brazil. Amazon plains lying in the northern part of the Brazil generally slopes eastward. In the map, first map we can see the Amazon basin and the Paraguay-Parana source. The Amazon basin is quite wide in the west, about 1,300 kilometers. In the second map, the arrow showing the kilometer 1,300 kilometer, and it narrow eastward. Its width is minimum where the Guyana Highland and Brazilian Highland come close. The width is minimum at the place where the Guyana Highland and the Brazilian Highland come closer, near about 240 kilometers. As the river approaches the Atlantic Ocean, the width of the plains increases. These are mostly forested area and largely inaccessible due to frequent flooding and dense undergrowth. Most of the Amazon plains are covered by the tropical forest. So there are mostly forested area and largely inaccessible due to the frequent flooding, the dense undergrowth. Most of the Amazon plains are covered by tropical rainforest. The other plains in Brazil are located to the southern west part of the highland. They form the sources region of Paraguay and Parana rivers. The sources region of Paraguay slope toward the southwest, south, while the source region of Parana slope toward the south. So the other plains in Brazil, they are also located to the southwestern part of highlands. They form the sources of region of Paraguay and Parana rivers. And the source region of Paraguay slopes toward the south, while the source region of Parana slopes toward the southwest. Pantanal is one of the largest wetland in the world. Pantanal is known as one of the largest wetland in the world. It lies toward the southwest part of the highland areas. In the second picture, it shows the Pantanal area. It is a region of swamps and marshes in the northwestern Mato Grosso do Sul in Brazil, and it extends into Argentina too. So Pantanal is one of the largest wetland in the world. It lies towards the southern west part of the highland areas. It is the region of swamps and marshes in the northwestern Mato Grosso do Sul in Brazil, and it extends into Argentina. The island, two types of islands are there: coastal island and marine island. Formed due to depositional. The coastal island formed due to deposition, and the marine island are a part of mainland. Islands we will revise. Beside the mainland, some islands are included in Brazil. They can be classified into coastal island and marine island. Most of the coastal island have formed due to deposition. Most of the coastal island are formed due to the reason of deposition. Marine island were a part of the main island. They are more than 300 kilometers away from the mainland in the Atlantic Ocean. These islands are mostly rocky and they are at the top of the submerged mountain. These islands near the coast of the South Atlantic Ocean are coral island and they are called as atolls. So this is about the island in Brazil. Some islands are also included in Brazil mainland. They are classified into coastal island and marine island. The coastal island have formed due to the deposition and the marine island were a part of the mainland. They are more than 300 kilometers away from the mainland in the Atlantic Ocean. These islands are mostly rocky and they are at the top of submerged mountain. The island near the coast of the South Atlantic Ocean are coral island and they are called as atolls. So we have revised about the each and every physiographic division of India and Brazil in detail. Now we will see about the differentiate between the western coastal region and the eastern coastal region of India. Western coastal region of India. Western coastal region of India borders the Arabian Sea. And the eastern coastal region of India borders the Bay of Bengal. To the west side it is Arabian Sea and to the east it is Bay of Bengal. So western coastal region of India borders the Arabian Sea and the eastern coastal region of India borders the Bay of Bengal. Rivers form estuaries in the western coastal region of India. The other point of differentiate is rivers form estuaries in the western coastal region of India and the rivers form deltas in the eastern coastal region of India. And the rivers are formed deltas in eastern coastal region of India. So these are the two main points we have to keep in mind. Western coastal region of India borders the Arabian Sea and the eastern coastal region of India borders the Bay of Bengal. Rivers form estuaries in the western coastal region of India and the rivers form deltas in the south, in the eastern coastal region of India. Now here is a differentiate between Lakshadweep Island group and Andaman Nicobar Island group. Lakshadweep Island group is located in Arabian Sea. Andaman and Nicobar Island group located in the Bay of Bengal. The main difference you have to keep in mind, Lakshadweep Island group is located in the Arabian Sea. Andaman Nicobar Island group located in the Bay of Bengal. Island in Lakshadweep Island groups are comparatively small in extent and short in height. The islands of the Lakshadweep Island groups are comparatively small and the height is short. And island in Andaman Nicobar Island groups are comparatively large in extent and have hilly region. And of Andaman group, islands are large and have hilly region. So Lakshadweep Island group is located in the Arabian Sea and Andaman Nicobar Island group located in the Bay of Bengal. Lakshadweep Island groups are comparatively small in extent and are short in height. Island in Andaman Nicobar Island groups are comparatively large in extent and have hilly region. Differentiate between Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat. In Western Ghat, we see Western Ghat is to the west of Deccan Plateau and Eastern Ghat is to the east of Deccan Plateau. Western Ghat is to the west of Deccan Plateau and Eastern Ghat is to the east of Deccan Plateau. Western Ghat is comparatively narrow and its altitude is comparatively high. Western Ghat is comparatively narrow and its altitude is comparatively high. And the Eastern Ghat is comparatively wider and its altitude is comparatively low. This difference we have to learn. Keep in mind. For Western Ghat, it is to the west of Deccan Plateau. Eastern Ghat to the east of Deccan Plateau. Western Ghat is comparatively narrow and its altitude is comparatively high. And Eastern Ghat is comparatively wider and its altitude is comparatively low. Now we will revise about the measures are being taken to control pollution in the rivers of India. We know that the pollution of rivers is increasing day by day. So to stop that, measures are being taken. So we will revise the measures. What are the measures taken to control pollution in the rivers of India? Treating of the sewage before draining it into the river. Sewage water which is directly flow towards river, so that should be treated before draining it into the river. The dirt material, the garbage in the draining water, that should be taken out, and after that it should be flown in the river. Reducing the use of pesticide and insecticide as they drain into the water sources and pollute it. There should be reduction in the use of pesticide, insecticide, all the chemicals that are harmful. That should be reduced because all the factories and industries, they use various chemical, pesticide, insecticide, and other harmful chemicals. So that water should not be directly drained to the rivers. That should be treated properly. For that, there should be reduction in the use of pesticide and insecticide. Discharge of industrial effluent into river without proper treatment is now controlled. the discharge water of the industries, the wastewater, the unwanted water, the dirty water which is discharged from the industries into rivers without proper treatment is now controlled. There are some measures, machineries are used for this water for giving it a treatment to remove the harmful chemicals and the dirt material from it, and after that it is drained into the river. Reusing the water for different purposes, which reduces the overuse and pollution of water. The water should be reused for different purposes. So this will also reduces the overuse of water and the pollution of water. Carrying out the cleaning and the purification of river water under the National River Conservation Plan, NRCP. NRCP means National River Conservation Plan. It is a plan carrying out the cleaning and purification of river water under the National River Conservation Plan. Creating awareness in the people about the importance of river and harmful effect of pollution. There should be awareness create among the people for the importance of the river and the harmful effect of the pollution. So this is the main thing. People must be aware about the use of the river, the importance of the river, and the pollution that is increasing day by day. Setting up of pollution control board, PCB. PCB means pollution control boards. This board should be set up at the state and national levels to curb pollution. These are the boards which should be set up at the state and the national level to curb the pollution. This can also create awareness among the people, and this will help to control the pollution in the river of India. So measures are taken to control the pollution in the river of India is treating the sewage before draining it into the river, reducing the use of pesticide and insecticide as they drain into the water sources and pollute it, discharge of industrial effluent into rivers without proper treatment is now controlled, reusing the water for different purposes which reduces the overuse and pollution of water, carrying out the cleaning and purification of the river water under the National River Conservation Plan, creating awareness in the people about the importance of river and harmful effect of pollution, and setting up a pollution control boards, PCB, at the state and national level to curb pollution. Now we will see, here is an outline of a map of Brazil and major rivers of Brazil. In map reading, in exam, they may ask to mark the major rivers of Brazil. So in the map, the numbers are indicating the rivers from where it is going. The blue color line, it shows the river Amazon, river San Francisco, it is the main river of Brazil, river Parana, river Paraguay, river Itapecuru, river Paraniba, river Paraguaco, and river Uruguay. So for this, we have to prepare index also in exam. Here is outline of map of highlands, escarpment, islands, bays, wetlands. In this map, you have to mark the Guyana Highlands, Marajo Islands, Atlantic Ocean, Brazilian Highlands, Marajo Bay, Pantanal Wetlands, Great Escarpment, Sao Marcos Bay, Pico do Neblina Peak. So here we can see the numbers indicating where it is located. One number showing Guyana Highlands. So like this map reading, if it comes, you have to mark the main points which they have asked. The index is shown. It is an outline map of India. And in this, we have to mark the Himalayas, the North Indian plains, the Peninsula Plateau, Western Coastal Plain, Eastern Coastal Plain, Lakshadweep Island, Andaman Nicobar Island, Western and Eastern Ghats. So for this, you have to make the index also. And you have to show the things which they have asked in the exam paper. The Himalayas, North Indian plains, 2 number it is showing. See in the map in the blue color it indicates. The Peninsular Plateau in the center. The Eastern Ghat, Western Ghat, blue color checks are shown. And the Eastern Coastal Plain, black color, black lines are given. Here is also an outline of a map of India. We have to mark the ranges, Ghat, Himalayas. So index is given. See the greater Himalayas from where it extends from Pamir North, from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. The Aravalli Hills is given showing the triangle. The Vindhya ranges are shown in the triangle which indicates the ranges. The blue color line, it shows Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. The black color, dark black color line which showing the Western Ghats. The small dotted lines are showing the Gulf of Kambat and Gulf of Kutch. So in this way, you have to show the things which are asked for map filling in exam. So in this way, we have done the revision of the lesson, physiography and drainage of India and Brazil. So do the revision, read the lesson properly, see the map. Thank you, everyone. Ma'am.